Good afternoon, I'm Asad Ahmad. Drivers who've been using the Dartford crossing since the weekend have been left frustrated by delays, but not because of traffic. These delays are for paying the £2.50 charge online, which forced National Highways to extend the time it allows for the bill to be settled. It follows the introduction of a new system from a new provider. Here's Helen Drew.
Yeah, so this is what I've been doing to try and pay. So going onto the Dartford Crossing website, which is the gov.uk, scroll down to Start Now, and you immediately just get put into a queue and can't do anything. And
Ollie Feldman has spent the best part of the last few days trying to pay the DART charge after taking his kids to Brighton for the day on Saturday.
the queue would time out after a while and you just get thrown off the website, which was a nightmare and quite frustrating and actually quite anxiety inducing because, you know, if you don't pay this, you get a fine.
The charge to cross the river between Essex and Kent is £2.50 for cars, and less if you have an account. But the fine for not paying is £70, halved if you pay within 14 days. The difficulty paying has led to widespread outrage on social media.
Just tried again to validate my payment details for the Dartford crossing and still the site is down despite saying it would be up on Sunday. What a disgrace, DART charge. Thousands trying to pay you and can't. Let's see how quick you are to send out fines though.
DART charge. Every time I try to log into my account, it doesn't recognise my email or password. I crossed on Friday and yesterday. Am I going to receive a fine because I can't log in?
An email to those registered for automatic payments said a new system would come into force last Friday, and that motorists must update their payment card by then or they may be liable for a fine. But when people went onto the DART charge website, it said it was unavailable until Sunday due to maintenance. It also meant motorists who'd used the crossing over the weekend couldn't pay within the timeframe specified.
National Highways has thanked people for their patience and says they're experiencing exceptionally high demand. They're extending the payment period for all crossings made since last Thursday, and at the moment they haven't given a deadline for those payments.
What many people are asking is whether the start of the summer holidays was the best time for the system to be updated. Helen Drew, BBC London.
A four-storey property in southwest London has been auctioned today and it was sold for £25,000. Sounds cheap, but it's not your average four-storey property. It's a stairwell, advertised as having development potential subject to planning permission. It's in Twickenham and Aisha Baksh can show you more.
Well, this is where the stairwell is, in a car park behind a row of shops on the high street in Twickenham. It's attached to a block of flats that's already been redeveloped and it's being sold at auction for £20,000. We've been asking local people what they make of it.
I was just quite shocked when you mentioned what the deal was there. Yeah, can't quite get my head around it, but well, we'll see what happens. I'll be keeping an eye out for it.
I'm a little bit surprised, I must confess. It just seems to me that people are cramming into the local area, really. Every bit of available space seems to be sold.
What would you like to see something like that turned into?
Swimming pool.
Well, while some local people may be slightly sceptical, it has sold for £25,000 to an entrepreneur, and we're not yet clear about what he wants to do with it and how it will be redeveloped.
Aisha Baksh there. Now, a man has been sentenced to 20 months in prison for sexually assaulting a woman on the Elizabeth line. This is the moment 50-year-old Edgar Jr. was arrested at Reading Station after carrying out what was described as a brazen and persistent sex attack on a female passenger. It happened in March. Jr. was also given a sexual harm prevention order for 10 years, which prevents him from subjecting women or girls to unwanted attention and also drinking alcohol in a public place. 6 years after renovation, the Royal College of Surgeons has reopened its museum, and among its new installations is a tribute to groundbreaking operations like this one.
Amazing, carry on, Lolly.
This is when Professor Kimor Ashgan from King's College Hospital operated on Dagmar Turner's brain while she played the violin to ensure areas responsible for delicate hand movement weren't damaged. Today, the surgeon and patient will meet again at the Hunterian Museum, and BBC London are there. Watch what happens at 6:30 this evening. Wrestling. It was big in the 1970s and 80s, and then the Americans came along and made it huge. It has millions of fans around the world, and this month it's coming to London, complete with some of its biggest stars. And the American public is also excited, as Chris Legg found out.
It's an event for the ages.
All Elite Wrestling is coming to Wembley.
When I was a kid, wrestling here in the UK was all about these two.
In comes Daddy again. Won't see many wrestling holes in this one.
Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. And then along came the US.
The States has completely reinvented wrestling. At 7 foot tall, Paul White is one of the biggest stars of All Elite Wrestling, a franchise regarded as the first serious rival to the better known WWE.
What does AEW offer that's different?
AEW isn't as, I would say, storyline driven as WWE is. It's more about the wrestlers and the talent, and there's a lot more to choose from in AEW as far as diversity.
Oh, a stunner!
Critics say wrestling's not a sport. Do you regard it as a sport or an entertainment?
If you say it's not a sport because it's got a predetermined outcome, sure, there's a bit of theater to it, but it takes an air of discipline and athleticism unlike anything else.
What drew you into wrestling in the first place?
I was flat broke. Had no job. I was big.
70,000 Wembley tickets have already been sold according to organisers, and even fans in the US are buzzing about the London show.
UK crowds are so exciting to me. They're some of the best fans in the world because of that football culture. They always bring a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. The atmosphere inside of Wembley is going to be insane on August 27th.
Paul White's fans are desperate for him to make his comeback from injury in time for Wembley, as is he.
I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get into a match here, but I need to be on this card.
Could you be on it? Because you've not fought for a year. Have I got that right?
Yeah, I'm cleared. Medically, I'm cleared. I'm good to go. It's just... so
you could return to the ring at Wembley?
I could return to the ring at Wembley.
Describe how it feels when you're performing in the ring and the crowd are buzzing.
When you're having your match, you're like a conductor that can make them yay and you can make them boo, and you take them on this emotional journey with you. And the more people you have tuned in to what you're doing and they're with you and a part of it, it's magical.
For wrestling fans, that magic will be keenly felt come August the 27th. Chris Legg, BBC London.
OK, now look at the weather forecast with Elizabeth.
Hello there, good afternoon. Well, compared to how it has been of late weather-wise across the capital, today is not a bad looking day, but still rather disappointing for the time of year. Plenty of cloud is captured by one of our weather watchers here in Waterloo, but we've also seen some spells of sunshine, such as here in Greenwich, and it should stay largely dry for the rest of the day. There's a small chance of a few showers towards the south. The winds are lighter than yesterday, and there should be some more afternoon and even evening brightness too. Top temperatures of 21 or 22 degrees, but overnight tonight it's all change again with a very deep area of low pressure, especially for this time of year, moving its way in from the southwest, and that's going to give us some very wet, very windy weather, but the bulk of this heavy rain will have pushed away in time for tomorrow morning. It's muggy and warm tonight. This is how we'll start off the day tomorrow, 15 or 16 Celsius in central London. Some strong gusty winds throughout the day tomorrow, especially through the afternoon and towards the south, with gusts here of around 30 to 40 miles an hour. There'll be some showers, longer spells of rain and maybe some thunderstorms breaking out, especially towards central and northern areas of the capital if we see some sunny spells through the afternoon, and there is a Met Office weather warning in place here for thunderstorms. It turns cooler with a northerly wind on Thursday, some more showers at times.
That's it, but Alice Bander-Cravey is here at 6:30 when we'll look at the boom in tourism for London last year. For now, from all of us here, have a very good afternoon. Bye-bye.